Welcome to the Women in Wealth podcast, brought to you by Regina McCann-Hess, a certified financial planner with over 2 decades of experience. This show is for professional women who want guidance in working towards their retirement vision in learning, building, planning, striving for your dreams, and putting the work in now so that you can pursue your financial independence. Hello, I'm Regina McCann-Hess, president of Forge Wealth Management, and welcome to our Women in Wealth series. Today, we have a new friend with us, and Michele, can you tell us who you are, what you do, and what you love about what you do?
I am a women's life and transition coach. My target market or target audience are successful women, 45 plus, who have checked all those boxes, the career, the family, the community, etc., and are wondering now, what about me? And I help them find clarity and direction in that next chapter of life. And what I love about what I do, gosh, I think it just really comes down to it's the cheesy one line of helping people. I
Mhm.
literally can get goosebumps just watching a woman peel away some of those layers from years that have built up the shoulds, what I'm supposed to be doing, supposed to put everybody else first, all of that, and just watching them like my tagline, blossom into their best, whatever that is, and really find that space to still be that person because many of them are mothers, grandmothers, and they obviously love that role, but finding that space for themselves as well in there and getting their voice back and and
Mm.
and getting clear on what they want and saying no a little more often. So that's
Yeah.
really what I love about it.
Oh, that's fantastic. And then, so I know that you have worked with, a wide range of women, but I know for some of our conversations, it's been about women who are looking for that next role in their life. Like they're
Mhm.
thinking about retiring, but nobody's retiring to a rocker chair anymore, right?
Mhm.
We're like, okay, well, now what am I going to do? What's the next phase of my life? And how can I, give back either to my community, myself,
Mhm.
whatever it is. Take us through that kind of a scenario.
So I think what happens really, I have a four-pillar program.
Okay.
And really what I find is we kind of I kind of feel like it's a funnel. We
Hmm.
start at the top really of where we are now. Just
Hmm.
like when you get in a car and you put on whatever maps app you have, you need to start with where you are. So we
Yes.
start there, but we look at what are your values? What is really important to you? Those 3 to 5 things that need to be in your day, in your week, to make you feel good, to make you feel energized. Because a lot of times we don't think about that. We think we know, but when we're forced to look at that, it changes a little bit. So we look at that, we vision out, and I think that by peeling away and really getting down to the core of who that particular woman is. Who are her friends? Is she trusting her intuition? Is she keeping a healthy lifestyle that really is energizing her? Is
Hmm.
she digging into her creativity? What are
Okay.
the friends around her? What are the support she has? Are they the right people to really support her in this next chapter? And then really it's about like letting go of those limiting beliefs of now that we've figured out maybe what someone would like or not like, being able to say, well, sure, I can do that, and not limiting ourselves to taking that next step. Because really, unlike maybe when we're choosing like a college um major,
Hmm.
we we don't necessarily have the end results when we're in these new chapters of our life, particularly retirement, but we can at least know what the next best step is. I often use the analogy of like headlights on a dark road in the car. You can't really see your destination, but you can see from A to B. And
Hmm.
so you do that choice. And then when you get to B, you go, oh goodness, there's there's a B and a C now. There's over here. Which one should I take now? So it's about just getting really clear on what you want, what you don't want, and exploring and just making choices that are more out of what I call conscious choices, more from your values and your true purpose, and not a fear based. Oh, I'm supposed to, I should go and volunteer. Maybe that's not for you in a retirement situation. Maybe you do want to work a little bit. Maybe you want to go back to school. There could be so many other options, but giving yourself permission to do that and explore.
Yeah. Yeah. And I find that there are a lot of people having those conversations and wondering, like, oh, well, how do I figure that out? And that's where you come in because you
Yeah.
can help guide that conversation. Now, you're not going to tell them what to do, but you're going to guide that conversation so they can come to that decision on their own.
hmm It's amazing what can happen. I also will say that as a coach, I'm here to disrupt your thinking
Mm,
because our thoughts are our thoughts. We keep having the same thoughts, and obviously we will have the same results from it. But if we can shift our thoughts, if we can shift our belief about something, which is where I come in, and it could be something as simple as somebody saying, "Ah, I can't do that."
right.
And I just say, well, how true is it that you can't do that? And then they might say, well, I guess it's not that I can't. I guess I could do X, Y, or Z. And it just, again, it just shifts the thinking to get a different result and open up a little bit. And sometimes it's so helpful, not sometimes, I think a lot of times, so helpful to have somebody on the outside that isn't in your life, that isn't your friend, telling you what you want to hear, and someone who's gently challenging you, gently saying, well, this is what I'm hearing. And then when you hear it back as the receiver, you go, oh, gosh, maybe I don't want to do that. Again, slight tweaks, slight little adjustments that change your trajectory.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's sometimes more, I guess, attainable when
Mhm.
you're trying to do smaller tweaks or smaller changes versus, this gigantic
Mhm.
plan that seems just too overwhelming that'll never happen if it feels that overwhelming.
Absolutely. I think it's the Atomic Habits book
Oh
that
yeah.
it talks about the 1% change,
Yeah.
and that's how you get to your results. And I believe it was him that used the example of a plane as well. And I use it often with people. I say you get in, and say in Philadelphia in the plane, and you're going to LA. You're in the plane. You're watching, 25 set seasons of a show or snoozing. And the pilot's just tweaking that knob. You're not even going to feel it in the plane, but you're going to land in Seattle.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I find that these changes, this process of going through, just even with working with me, it's just little teeny changes each time, little adjustments, little tweaks of that knob. And then at the end, you come out and you go, huh, look where I got.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it really, people so often, right, in our world, we want the quick fixes, we want the pill, we want that. And real growth. I almost I wish people a slow process with growth because that's when it really sticks and it
Yeah.
really is you and you're just making slight ones that you don't even feel, but they feel amazing.
Right. That's for sure.
hmm
So if people wanted to learn more about you and how you're helping people, where would they go to learn that?
Well, my website is one, and that's M Garrett, two R's, two T's, garrettcoaching.com. And there I have information about my four pillar program. I have a little information about me and some of the things I've been working on, like some podcasts and things, and a way for anyone to sign up for a complimentary strategy session. And this is really all in itself. It's a great call because it's a clarity call. We talk about your vision out in a year. What are the things getting in your way? What's the impact of that? And we talk about action, whether that's working with me or some plans on your own. So I have that. I'm also on LinkedIn. My full name there is Michele Trego Garrett. So Michele with one L, Trego, Trego, Garrett. And there's some other things as well on there that may not be on the website. And my Instagram is Michele Garrett Coach. So some of it'll be similar from LinkedIn, not so crazy creative yet to have big differences, because there's different audiences on each
Yeah,
of those platforms.
absolutely. Absolutely.
So I have that in there, but that's a great way. But really, the best way is to schedule a call and we just get on that call together and just talk through
Yeah.
where are you stuck?
Yeah. Yeah. That's good advice. Good advice.
Mhm.
Good advice. So, I know you've had different phases of your own career, and I'm wondering what are some of the challenges that you have faced as a professional woman?
Hmm. I think as in my previous role, I was, worked for an organization. I call it the worker bee. I think there, as I find often in my career, sometimes it's hard to have your voice heard and finding a way to have it heard in a way that, well, will be heard
Mm,
and also yet not change who you are. I found that oftentimes I would try to be more serious and do all that in the early stages of being a professional. And at one point, I thought, that's not me. I'm the one that might crack a joke in a meeting or say something silly or laugh at myself. And I got to a point where I wanted to be that and just be that all the time. And whoever liked it was okay. And whoever didn't, it's also okay.
exactly.
On my own now with my own company, I think the biggest challenge I find being, I guess, a solopreneur and entrepreneur is really being careful about balancing my time
Oh, yeah.
because you could just keep going all the time. Making sure that I'm energized showing up and that I'm having time for my own clarity, to give myself some space to think of my clarity, my next steps as well, and just some time to recharge. Um, Also, I find as a coach on a side piece, there are a lot of people who call themselves coaches now.
Mm,
A lot of people put that at
yes.
the end of their name, um, and that's fine. Yet I find that when I talk with people, I have to remind them that I am a, I'm not remind them, I shouldn't say,
Educate them.
emphasize,
Educate.
educate them,
Yeah.
good, that I am a certified coach through the International Coach Federation, that is the governing body of coaches. Oftentimes people will say, "Oh, I don't need a therapist." I'm not a therapist. I don't diagnose. I didn't, that's not what I do. So I find that kind of being taken seriously for what I provide, and that doesn't happen often, luckily. But that would be another small challenge I find as being a professional woman, just people
Yeah.
taking it seriously.
Yeah. That's fair. That's very fair.
Mhm,
Well, what if we get in the time machine and we look
mhm.
at, down the road? What is your vision of your own retirement?
Hmm. And I'm so close too. I mean, officially
Yeah.
in terms of age. To be perfectly honest, Regina, I don't think it's different from how I live my life now in terms of my measures of success, if you will. We'll start with the financial piece since that's where you come in. I want to be able to have enough to pay for what I want, a need, and then some things that I want. I'm not a very complicated person. I want to travel. I want to be able to go and visit my children, be near them when they have their own children. So have that freedom of that. And I'd like the freedom financially so that if I'm working, it's really like the cherry on top. And I'm enjoying myself. To me, coaching is such a joy. It does not feel like work. And I want to be able to keep doing that as well. I want to be able to have a home that's comfortable for me in that age, maybe one floor. My mother used to always say, everybody should just buy a ranch house because then they don't ever have to move. That was what she always said every time we pass one. She always says that. So I just want to be comfortable in my home. I don't want to have to worry about if something happens that
Right.
I'm not able to either physically take care of it, financially take care of it, mentally take care of it. I want to have people around me, right, that are filling me up. I want to take care of myself physically, mentally, emotionally. So I think there's a lot of that for me in retirement. It's not much different from how I look at my life now and how I measure success now.
That's pretty awesome. I love it. Very,
Yeah.
very good outlook, I should say.
Hmm.
Well, I think that our action item today is, I think, for everyone to kind of like think about that, look within them and see, start thinking about what their next stage looks like and what are the small steps that they may want to take to get there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. That works. Well, Michelle, thank you so much for joining me. This has been a pleasure and I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you so much, Regina. It's been a pleasure talking with you.
Yeah. And thank you everyone else for joining us. Again, I'm Regina McCann Hess, president of Forge Wealth Management. My website is forgewealth.com. You can follow me on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Forge Wealth. And on LinkedIn, I'm Regina McCann Hess. Go make it a great day. Thank you for joining me for this episode of the Women in Wealth podcast. You can watch the founder's video I created for you to learn more about me and how I can guide you towards your financial independence at www.forgewealth.com. The information in this podcast is educational and general in nature and does not take into consideration the listener's personal circumstances. Therefore, it is not intended to be a substitute for specific, individualized financial, legal, or tax advice. To determine which strategies or investments may be suitable for you, consult the appropriate qualified professional prior to making a final decision. Securities are offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA, and SIPC. Investment advice offered through Private Advisor Group, a registered investment advisor. Private Advisor Group and Forge Wealth Management are separate entities from the LPL Financial. Our show guests and their companies are not affiliated with nor endorsed by LPL Financial, Private Advisor Group, or Forge Wealth Management.